After my grandfather left that storefront in downtown Cleveland, he went to the modern sanitary cigar factory because cigar makers then, like today, are paid on a piecework basis. The more cigars you make, the more money you make. And a hand cigar roller would roll the cigar by hand and seal the edge of the tobacco with little gum so it doesn't come unraveled. That's what it's supposed to be done. That's what it's done today. But back in those days, it was quicker to put the cigar in your mouth and give a little twist than trying to use the gum at your table. My grandfather said he wasn't going to do that. So he built himself as the modern sanitary cigar factory. It's kind of interesting, there was another competitor at the time called Cremo Cigars. They were in an advertising campaign. They said in New York, spit is a horrid word, what's worse than the end of your cigar. My grandfather swore he didn't do it. But my father told me a story when he was about 12 years old. He goes into the factory and all of a sudden he sees women licking their cigars, putting the cigar twirl in his mouth. He got grossed out. You know, little kids get grossed out. So the supervisor, this is awful. The public ever knew we were licking our cigars, they wouldn't buy any. And just then a bunch of tourists were coming in through, visitors coming through the factory. My supervisor told my father, watch this. The supervisor raised his arm, which is a signal to all the cigar makers to quit licking their cigars. Use a little vial of gum. And the visitors will come there and see the cigar rollers rolling, using the gum to seal the head of the tobacco head of the cigar. So, oh, that's really nice. And I'm sure they go into the next room. The supervisor lowers his arm, and the cigar makers, lo and behold, they start licking their cigars again. My father told me this story, and I said, how can that be? Because Grandpa Jason built himself as a modern sanitary cigar factory. And Dad said, well, either your grandfather either didn't know or he knew about it, just turned his head. 1917, the president of the Chamber of Commerce of Marion, Ohio, came to see my grandfather. Marion is a suburb about 45 minutes from Cleveland. And the fellow he offered my grandfather a great deal. We'll build you a factory in Marion, Michigan. We just need jobs. Open up a factory there, hire the people, we'll give you a lease, build you a factory, free lease. My grandfather said, sure, why not? He was having some labor difficulties anyway. So he opened up a factory. Here's the factory he had in Marion, Ohio. Kept it open a few years. What's interesting about that story is the fellow who was the head of the Chamber of Commerce was a fellow named Warren G. Harding, who later became Ohio Senator, later became, I think, the 21st President of the United States. In fact, my grandfather used to visit him in the White House. Not necessarily because President Harding and my grandfather were good friends, but President Harding used to like to get free cigars. I don't think it's changed much over the last 100 years. There's other brands we had back in those days. John Carver was a nickel cigar, maybe off Havana, of course. Another picture here is Brick House. My grandfather was born in a little village in Hungary, 1975, in the only brick building in the community, the village. It was an inn. In fact, his mother, Anna, ran the inn. When he came to this country, to the United States, one of his first brands he ever made was Brick House, to honor where he was born, honor his heritage. Actually, it was 2 for a nickel to show how old that cigar was. Goes back a long way.